Hey guys, welcome back to Barry's Corner. It's Emily here, and today my boyfriend is going to be picking my books. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I've seen so many people do it here on BookTube and it's looked so fun. But the biggest thing is, one, me and my boyfriend are long distance while I'm at college, and two, I have a lot of books on my TBR, like physically, that I haven't read yet. So I thought the first book would be him picking a book from my TBR, and the other two books that I'm going to be reading for this video, we are going to be going to Barnes & Nobles and picking them out. So I'm so excited. I don't know what he's going to pick for me. I think I know that he's at least going to pick one romance book, but aside from that, it's fair game. So I'm gonna bring him in, see if you match the height. Oh, you're perfect. Okay, so he's gonna be picking some of my books, and you have a whole TBR cart behind you. I have hair in my face. He has a whole TBR cart behind him. So do you know? I feel like I know what you're gonna pick from the TBR cart, like 100%.
How? How do you know?
I know. Okay, so like let me bring you.
How many of these have you actually already read?
Honestly, only a couple, because I tried to bring so many books that I haven't read to college.
You can put this one back.
You want that one? Okay.
Yeah, you can put that back. Right.
Okay. Ooh, fantasy and a thriller. Megan's been really wanting me to read the middle one. I haven't read this one since I got this when I was 14. Never read it. And then the last one you bought me for Christmas.
You can put this one back.
Wow, okay.
Why?
I feel like he's going to pick from Blood and Ash because he got it for me for Christmas.
I forgot that I got it for you, to be honest with you. I just feel like it's a good book.
Just remember, I'm going to be reading
part
all
of
of
the
these.
universe of the
No, it's
the TV
not.
show, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a TV show.
No. I don't know, but this one seems like it'd be good too.
Just remember, I'm going to be reading all 3 of these books in this video.
Alright. Probably this one. Yeah.
I knew you were going to pick this one.
How did you know I was going to pick that one?
You picked From Blood and Ash. Why'd you pick this book?
Because it looks like a nice book.
It's thick.
It is
When I
thick.
was hinting that I'll be reading all 3 of these books in this video, you had to pick the thick one.
I had to pick a thick one. You need one that's going to take up some time.
I don't. I'm in college.
Yeah, but you're reading like a book every few days.
Well, there's exams coming up. I think it'll go by fast though. You're
I'll pick this one up.
No, babe.
I don't even know where I'm going.
Are you thinking about getting that one? Okay, so we are back from Barnes & Nobles. He got me these 2 books, and honestly, I'm so excited because he doesn't know this, or I think I told him, but these are actually pretty popular books. The first one is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This one is a mystery thriller about a girl, or like a mother whose daughter disappeared, and she meets this guy 10 years later, and she meets his daughters, and one of them, Poppy, looks exactly like the daughter that she lost, and she's trying to go and see all of the missing pieces, or everything that she thought she missed from the first time. So why did you pick this book?
I picked it because some of my favorite books are mystery thrillers, and this seems like something that have some reverse psychology in it. It'd make you think one way, but a whole nother thing is going to happen. At least I'm hoping that's what it's about.
There are a couple of chapters that say then, and so I'm like wondering if it shows like different timelines.
Just like that one. Do they both do that?
Oh yeah, okay. The next one is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This one I don't know much about, but I do know that it is in dual timelines, and it follows this girl named Quinn, and then her and Graham are in a perfect relationship because they both left their cheating partners, and now 7 years later their love is threatened by their imperfect marriage. The memories, mistakes, and dreams that they have built up over the years are tearing them apart, and the one thing that could save them might also be the very thing that pushes their marriage past the point of no return. Now, why did you pick this book?
Well, one is because it's Colleen Hoover, and two, it's a nice romance book, and it's not that long, so you have time to read it. It just so happened that they're both in dual timeline. I did not see that. It just happened to be that way. I like the book. It seemed nice, and I think this one. There was that other one that I really wanted you to read.
Oh yeah, he wanted me to read this Tana French book, but it was just too long.
It was too long, but it would have been a perfect book.
I don't know. Anyway, thank you, babe. These are very nice
No
picks.
problem.
And let's see what I think about them. So the first book I chose to read is from Blood and Ash because it's the biggest one and it's also a fantasy, and I just wanted to get it out of the way. And I'm 300 pages and also halfway through, and I am absolutely adoring this book. Like, this book was so much more than what you guys said it was. What I thought this book was it was about this girl named Poppy who was the chosen one. She had some powers that I had like absolutely no idea what it was. And then she had a bodyguard named Hawk and they fall in love, whatever, and it was very smutty. This book is so much more the world building. I'm so enjoying learning about her powers and Craven and like the war sort of that's going on. And I love it. I also just love the writing style. Being in Poppy's perspective is how did I get blessed to read Poppy's perspective? She is so badass, but so kind-hearted. Like, she will literally throw herself under the bus just so that you could be happy. And just reading her as the main character is just so refreshing. Not only reading her, but reading her relationships. Like, there's this guy named Victor. Okay, so her family is actually dead, but she has this father figure named Victor, and I love him. Their interactions warm my heart. But I do have like this thing where I predict deaths in fantasy novels, and I think Victor's gonna die. Like, not in this book, but it's a 3-book fantasy series, so I know that the father figure, of course, is gonna die in one of the next 2 books, and I will cry. Along with that, I also hope that the Duke dies because that guy is such an asshole to Poppy, and I hope it's in this book. I'm not even gonna lie. But moving on to the character that everybody wants to know about, Hawk, her bodyguard. He actually gets introduced almost 200 pages in, so it's a real slow burn actually, which I didn't expect. I thought it was gonna be super smutty, but I'm more than halfway through, and it is just getting to where they're like kissing, and it's just, I literally love it so much. I wish I was annotating this book because every single thing that comes out of Hawk's mouth is pure, just like smooth, iconic, perfect lines. He's so guarded, but just around her, he's just the most perfect man. Like, literally everything he says is pure perfection. At the beginning of this book, in the first 2 chapters, she actually meets him at a casino, and so the chosen one has to be veiled, but she snuck out and she was also masked, and they kiss. And then him finding out that it was her, and then also letting her know that he knew it was her, those moments, oh my gosh, they were so good. Guys, this book is like honestly 5 out of 5 stars so far, and I don't know, I'm literally loving every single thing about it. It's just an amazing book. I will update you guys when I'm finished because this book is going by so fast. Guys, I finished From Blood and Ash, and this book, Poppy, Hawk, I love this book with my entire soul. This book is literally everything I've ever wanted and more. And by the way, there's this guy named Cass in here, which this is not going to be a spoiler, but if you know, you know. Cass. From page 450, I knew that he was going to be the bad guy. I guessed a lot of things in this book. Every single thing that I guessed happened, like literally every single thing. But honestly, I didn't mind. I kind of wanted those things to happen. This book kind of feels like it took place in 3 different parts. The time before Hawk, when she was just like the plain maiden, and then after Hawk, and like the fights that start breaking out, and then when she leaves the Duke's like castle and like goes to go see the Queen. All of those different parts, they're so distinct. The character relationships, the character development, and by the way, it did get more spicy. Okay, it got so much more spicy. But what I loved about those scenes was that you could literally feel the adoration and the love that was oozing out of both of them. It was so beautiful. Hawk is so patient, so caring, so kind, so loving towards her. And like they both love each other, even though they haven't said it yet. But I know that they love each other. By the end, oh my gosh, the ending. The ending, guys. I need the next book ASAP. Like actually right now I need the next book. Babe, my boyfriend, if you're watching, thank you for buying me this book for Christmas. I was gonna put it on the back burner, but babe, thank you. Guys, read this book. 5 out of 5 stars. If I could tell you everything, people don't say enough about this book. People do not say enough. Okay, the next book that I'm gonna read is Then She Was Gone, because I didn't really want to jump into a romance when their romance is still on my mind. But thriller. This is the one that my boyfriend is most excited about. This is his genre. Let's see if I like it, because if I do, then I'll give it to him afterwards. Halfway through, Then She Was Gone. And guys, I'm gonna be honest and say that starting this novel took me such a long time because I was still in From Blood and Ashland. But you know what? Once I started it, it actually is going by very quick. The chapters are only a page or two long, and just how she writes, the tone in this novel, wild. Like it's kind of eerie. There's this underlying tension that we don't really know where it's coming from, like what's gonna happen, and I love that feeling. The main character, Laurel, is also very morally gray, and it's in third person, and so seeing just how kind of self-centered she is and how much she was affected by everything that happened, I'm like, were you just a self-centered person before the whole incident? Or can I just write this off as like an effect of what happened to you? But honestly, I'm not hating her. I actually quite enjoy her. And I actually also enjoy Floyd, her new boyfriend that has a daughter that looks kind of like Ellie, the girl that got lost. I actually have a couple theories about him. So one, we kind of know who kidnapped Ellie. Oh, Kitty wants to say hi. This is Alice. She's gonna be crazy. Oh, okay, goodbye. So we know who kidnapped Ellie, and we know that she is somehow entangled with Floyd. However, I think Floyd is very innocent in all this, and I think he's gonna get caught in the crossfire. And I have all of these theories, and whether I'm right or wrong, I'm still gonna be so shocked by this ending. I think this is one of the best thrillers I've ever read, but at the same time, I don't read much fake thrillers. So anyway, I will update you guys when I finish the book, because honestly, I'm really enjoying it. So I finished Then She Was Gone, and guys, the ending to this novel was so crazy. We actually got 3 different perspectives, new perspectives. 1, Noelle Donnelly, 2, Ellie's actually from the past, and then 1 small chapter of Floyd's perspective. And I know a lot of people don't really like different perspectives, but I'm gonna let you know that honestly, it flowed so well with the story. From the beginning, we kind of already knew who kidnapped her, but we never really knew why and like how it happened and all the little details, so we finally figured it all out. Oh, Kitty is over here to say hi. Every single time I film, she always just comes over here. And then she gets camera shy and just wants to leave. I'm like, why'd you come over here in the first place? Anyway, one thing that I was a little worried about was that after we found out everything that happened to Ellie, the mother still didn't know, and we had only 100 pages left. And so I was like, how is she gonna find out, figure everything out with Floyd, and then figure everything out with her family? And honestly, I feel like some people may think that the ending was a bit rushed, but I truly don't think so. There were a lot of Easter eggs placed throughout the book that kind of all tied together at the end. One thing that I am sad about, but this isn't like the book's fault, I'm kind of sad that the mom will never know every single detail like we did. Like she knows the gist, she knows what happens, and she can get that closure. But I don't know, I feel kind of bad. Although at the end in the epilogue, this is not a spoiler, Ellie did leave like a note in a book, and I feel like finally hearing her words will bring some sort of peace to Laurel. And I love Laurel. I actually really love the characters in this novel. The little note, I actually want to read you a little piece of it. It said, "My mom is Laurel Mack. I want you to tell them all that I'm sorry and that I love them more than anything in the world, and that none of them must feel bad about what happened to me, because I am brave, I am brilliant, and I am strong." And I was, this little girl, I am just loving her. She's so resilient. Even when she was kidnapped, in her perspective, all she thought about was her family and her mom and her sister. And it was just, I love, honestly, all of Laurel's family. And 5 out of 5 stars. That's all I'm gonna say. Honestly, thank you to my boyfriend. He's picking such good books. Is the vlog where my boyfriend picks out all my books the vlog where I finally give 3 books a 5 out of 5 stars? Who knows? Okay guys, I went to the bookstore today and I went for one book and one book only, the second book in the From Vlad and Ash series, and they did not have it and I still ordered it on Amazon. The chokehold that this series has me in, literally insane. But while I was there, I started All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and I'm actually halfway through it. And honestly, this book, I kind of still don't know what it's about, but I know that it's about Quinn and Graham and their love story. And so honestly, I'm quite enjoying the past perspective more than the current timeline. Like in the past perspective, you just see them meet and like be all flirty and like lovey and like so gentle and sweet and kind towards each other, and it's so nice to see that side of them. In the current timeline though, they're actually struggling with infertility, and that's not a spoiler, you kind of find that out at the beginning of the book, and it really is making me very frustrated with Quinn. She's very bitter and resentful towards herself for not being able to conceive, but then it's bleeding into her marriage and it's really hurting Graham. And Graham is one of the best male main characters that I've ever read about in my entire life. And so although we feel very like hurt for Quinn, we're also very frustrated with her because she's so selfish. There was this one scene that Colleen Hoover did so well, and it literally tugged at my heartstrings, where basically they're having intercourse, and the only reason that she's doing it is because she's ovulating. She's just not in the headspace. She's not in it. And Graham gets frustrated and he's like, can you like want me? And she's like, no. And she lies to him and it's like, no, I want you. Like, I really want this. So whatever, at the end, he pulls out before, you know, putting his baby in her. And she starts sobbing, like crying. And it basically proves that she was lying and that she didn't want this because she wanted him. She just wanted the baby. And your heart, or my heart, broke for Graham. Because not only is he devastated that he can't have a baby, but he's devastated because he can't even be cherished and loved by his partner when he needs her the most. And then he starts to walk away and she goes, Graham. And he turns around and be like, are you gonna say sorry? Or even if she doesn't say sorry, she could be like, hey, I'm not, like, I'm going through a lot right now. And like, he would understand because he's so compassionate, but she doesn't say anything else. And just how Colleen Hoover writes it, you're like, oh my gosh. And like, yes, I hurt for Quinn. This is a very real situation and you feel really bad for her, but at the same time, like, you're so frustrated, or I'm so frustrated with her, because they can both be hurting, but she's upset that her marriage is failing, but it's like literally her. She's not putting in the work to like actually, like, I don't know, like I feel bad and I totally understand her, but at the same time, like I just want the best for them. I don't know. I do think they're meant for each other, but Quinn, girly, you need to wrap it up. Anyway, so very excited to finish this. Hopefully it ends really well. It is 15 minutes since I did that last clip. I read the next chapter and I am utterly upset at Graham, at her, at this book. There's a specific trope in here that I do not like, and it occurred. And so I don't even think I could, I don't know how the ending is going to go, but I don't think I could give it more than 4 stars. Anyway, that's all I have to say. It is the next day. I finished All Your Perfects, and this is also the end of the video. This book, I just want to congratulate Colleen Hoover for making me feel so many emotions. I felt so happy, I felt sad, I felt utter shock. I felt so connected to these characters. I loved Quinn and I hated Quinn, and I loved and hated Graham and their actions, and I just felt so connected to them, and Colleen Hoover did such a good job with the flow of this novel. This story felt so real. It was like I was getting a glimpse into somebody's like life. Like this was nonfiction, not fiction. And honestly, like that in and of itself is 5 out of 5 star potential. However, there was one trope in this novel that I just could not take. Like my heart sunk all the way down to the bottom of my stomach. Like, and yes, it made me feel so much for these characters, but I can't deal with that trope. I can't tell you what it is because it'll be a spoiler, but after that trope happened, I literally did not want to continue reading the book. Like I really didn't. I read the next couple of chapters and it flip-flops between past and present. And in the past, they're so happy. And I was like, I don't want to read you happy after everything that's happened right now. I do not want to read it. And I think I could excuse it if it was nonfiction, it was telling somebody's real life, but Colleen Hoover chose to put that trope in the book. And I feel like it could have been just as impactful if it wasn't in there. There's also other things, like at the end, they were very happy, but they had 2 years to like think about their happiness, and I only had 30 seconds until they were just like automatically happy. And so I wish we would have had like a buffer chapter. Also, the reason that they couldn't adopt was because something happened in Graham's past, and honestly, she made it so dramatic. We never even got to delve into what he did and why it was so like harmful to him. And I wish she would have just picked something else because I wanted to delve a little bit deeper into his past, but we never really got to. So overall, a 4 to 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I felt a lot of pain with this novel. I felt shell-shocked. and I think it might be worth it. Some people give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I ever could. It's definitely not one of my favorite Colleen Hoover novels. However, I wish I had my boyfriend here to talk about these books. I mean, I already behind the scene talked to him about it and how much I love this book. He actually wants to read the thriller book soon, but as I said, we're long distance, so we can't be in the end of this video. But I feel like I have to do another video like this soon because oh my gosh, this is the best reading vlog that I've ever done. Let me know if you want to see that, and also let me know which book was your favorite, which one you didn't like, which one you've read yourself. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Please subscribe, comment down below, do whatever you want to do, and goodbye.